So about 15 years ago, one of my athletes calls me and she's crying hysterically and she says to me, "Coach, my dad is threatening to kick me out of the house." So I asked her, why would he do that? And she said, honestly, it's because I told him to stop using the N-word. And then she said to me, it's a word that always got thrown around in my town. Honestly, it's a word I've used in the past. And until I came to your college and started running for you, getting to know you and other athletes on the team, it really wasn't a big deal to me. But my dad and I are sitting around and we're watching some show, and my dad says, that N-word, blah, blah, blah. And I say to him, Dad, don't use that word. It's not acceptable to use that word. And you know what? My coach is black. And the things that you're saying about black people all the time, and like my coach is black, I have black teammates, none of those things are true. And she's basically telling him to stop saying that. And because of that, even now, 15 years later, her relationship with her dad is almost non-existent. Then just a few years ago, I had another student athlete of mine who lived in another small town. And if you think of my college, if my college is like here, every little town around it is basically a small conservative town where most of those kids grow up not knowing many people from marginalized communities at all. So this other athlete of mine said that her family was calling her a liberal because she was defending or basically telling them that the things they were saying about gay people weren't true, and she had become best friends with a gay girl on our team. And so they were calling her a liberal and saying basically that college was indoctrinating her. And so when you think about that, you start to understand why the Trump administration is having this big fight with academia. They hate the fact that kids and students from these small podunk type of towns who have never been exposed to other people go to college, get to know other people, and start to realize they've been lied to all their life. The things that they're hearing about black people are not true. The things that they hear about gay people are not true. And when they go back to these towns and they tell their family members and friends, hey, we've all been lied to. You guys are lying to me. You have indoctrinated us into believing things that aren't true. They're being told that that's a bad thing to them. So that's why it doesn't surprise me when I hear this about J.D. Vance and why the Trump administration is fighting with academia.
That's not what this is. You know what it is? A couple of years ago, J.D. Vance gave a speech to a conservative political conference. The title of the speech was, "Universities Are the Enemy." He said explicitly, because they teach ideas we disagree with. He said explicitly, we cannot achieve anything in this country as a conservative movement unless we aggressively go after the universities. That's what they're doing right now. Americans like the fact that we have great universities, not just Harvard, but all over the country. And the one good news here is this is a lawsuit. They are going to lose in an embarrassing way. All of these things that they're trying to do to Harvard are going to fail.
And you have to understand how profound this statement by J.D. Vance actually is. In order for their agenda to work, they need white people from these small towns to believe that black people are lazy and don't want to do anything and they all want handouts. And these kids go to college and realize black people work just as hard as they do, most of the time even harder, because they understand the stigmas that are put on them. They learn that black people just want a piece of the American dream. They want life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, just like they do. And these people hate that. And in order for J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and Republicans to have success politically in this country, they need these people to believe that black people are the enemy. They also need them to believe that gay people and trans people are the enemy. And so when these kids go to college and they start to get to know black people, gay people, and trans people, they don't like that, because what they learn is that all of these people just want to live a happy life. They're not trying to force their lifestyle on anyone. They're not trying to make you like them. They're just learning that those people want to be accepted the same way that the rest of us do. And so J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, they hate that. They hate that people are going to college and becoming more liberated. They hate that they're starting to learn and get to know people, and they're becoming more unified. So they're trying to drive a wedge in between black people, white people, Hispanic people, gay people, transgender people, because those type of divisions keep them in power. Understand something. This is calculated. What Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are doing is calculated. They see unity coming between people who normally don't have unity, and they need to drive a wedge through that in order for Republicans to stay in power. This is calculated, and unfortunately, a lot of us are falling for it because some of these people are going to college and the indoctrination that they've gotten at home is too strong to be overturned. But there are a lot of people who are starting to wake up and learn that Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and most Republicans need us to be divided in order for them to prosper. And the only way for us to actually take charge, to take our power back, is for us to continue to be diligent about learning about each other and then advocating for marginalized people. If you have privilege, as a black person, the privilege that I have sometimes, I have to take that and advocate for the gay community and for women. If you have privilege as a white person and you go to college and you get to know black people and other marginalized communities, you have to take that privilege that you have and you have to advocate for a better society for those people as well. Understand, in order for us to take our power back, we have to give J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, and Republicans a middle finger and tell them we're not going to allow you guys to lie to us and turn us against each other. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.